Good morning, everybody. It's Debbie with the Pickin Coop Farmstead, and it is Friday morning. Yesterday was my town day. I got all my grocery shopping done, all my errands done, then went and had a nice visit with my son, and brought everybody some lunches. And so, at least one day a week, the kids get a lunch, so that makes me happy. And then I went and had lunch with my sister and longtime family friend Brenda. So I had a great day. And then I went and picked up little Noah and Gabby, my grandkids. So yeah, Gabby spent the night. Noah um wanted to go home after his dad got off work, and poor little guy felt really bad. And I said, "Don't worry about it, buddy. It's okay." So I said, "We can try it again, sometime." I can't even talk this morning. So Gabby's still sleeping in, and I'm out in the garden. So let's do some gardening. So as you know, if you've watched my last video, I did the worm juice, and I did it full strength. And it looks like, look at this. My pumpkins and squash have put on some serious, I wonder if it rained last night. These are super wet. I hope so, and the ground is still super wet. But we put on lots and lots of new growth. So I'm very excited about that. And then, yeah, it had to have rained because this is really wet. It was super cloudy last night, and I thought, well, shoot, we're not going to get any rain. Well, guess what? We did. So the beans that I planted down at the end of this bed are nice and soaked. So for germination purposes, that's like really, really important to keep them super wet, not too wet, but pretty damp until they come up out of the earth and take hold. Now, this is my dark star zucchini. I will end up making a zucchini tree out of this. Once it gets about this big, I'll put one of my poles down in there. And yeah, we just trim from the bottom up, and they just come up, and that way they don't take hold of your whole bed. The pumpkins, I'm not able to do that with just because they're too large. So we've got the sweet pumpkins, which are pretty little. I grew those on a trellis before, and they worked really well. Then we have over here the tromboncinos. Those grow up on a trellis really well. So if I can possibly, I got one post. I don't know if I have any more posts. I've got one left, a T-post. Put one on each side of this, and we can try to grow these two things up on that. So that will give everything else a lot more room. And I think I got some crookneck over here. I forget what the rest, Princess Pumpkin and Hubbard Squash. But that all has a lot of new growth on it. And then we come over here, and we have the cruciferous bed, which is looking really, really well. I do want to check my cauliflowers. I have two more. Remember, I tied this one up, and if I did it too soon, I'm not really sure. But that one's tied up. And then look down in here at these beans. Remember, I replanted beans, and they did not. I thought they were going to succumb to the bugs, but they did not. This is a lima bean, which I'm excited. There's two, actually there's three plants still thriving in there, so that's a good thing. This bean right here, I planted these two at the same time, has a little green bean on it. So these are starting to thrive. These are the cattle beans. These ones are dried beans, and they're cute. They look like they're white with little brown splotches like a cow. So that's a dried bean variety. So let's go around and see what we can find. Right down here, our basil is doing fantastic. It has all this room now because we took the beets out. In between the basil, I've got some cone flowers. I think I told you before, those are really starting to take off. Now, over here, I haven't planted, oh, I did plant, I think, beans in here. I did. These are bush beans at the very edge of the bed right down here. But I left the rest of this because if my onions thrive, which I'm going to come over here, so hopefully you can see this. they all look pretty good. We've got some green growth. They look a little fatter around. Now these guys are not looking so well, so I'm going to put some soil up around them. They got pounded down. There we go. I don't know. That one I think I just broke off. These are all looking okay. So I just had 2 over here that don't look that great. So I'm going to give these another week or 2. Make sure that they're thriving. And then these ones over here, I'm going to do the same thing right down here. These are bunching onions, which simply means they're bunched together. So this one's almost ready to harvest. And then we've got this big, beautiful sunflower right here. He's getting taller and taller. It looks perfect. So possibly, I'm not sure. I might harvest my cabbage today, but I'm not really sure. Calendula, as always, look we go, is ready to harvest. So I'm going to have to harvest that today. There's a picture of these beautiful guys, but look at this. This is what I wanted to show you, this bee balm. Let's see if I can get it. It's almost become a patch. Oh, shoot, you can't see it. Hold on. There, sorry about that. Look at this. It's going to be a whole patch. Look at it all. And it's over here. It's just looking fantastic. And it looks like I have a couple of okras. That one's still kind of young. A couple of okras to harvest. They're super green now. They were kind of yellowish, and these have shot up a couple inches just since I fertilized. So I'm telling you, the worm thing is the way to go. It's easy. It's cheap. In my case, I had everything I needed. I had the old tub. I had the screen. I had a box cutter to cut around the middle of the lid. Gabby and I collected the worms, so we didn't even have to purchase worms. Where is my dog going? Johnny, what are you doing? Johnny! Where in the heck is he going? Hold on a minute, folks. Going way out in the cow pasture. He never does that. I don't know what's going on. And then we have Levo. Let me show you her. There she is, right in the middle of the camera. Mommy, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, kitty, meow, meow. She loves coming out here. She would prefer to be outside, I think, but we have too many varmints that could get her. All right, so everything is looking quite happy since I fertilized. Let me turn my camera around and look at these guys. These guys, they have grown, I swear, 6 inches. They're up above. These are the tomatillos up above my trellis now. And the tomato at the other end is too. That's crazy. It wasn't like that the other day. These are my black Tula tomatoes. They're looking great. They're getting more sun. These peppers are looking better since I trimmed back these marigolds. Who knew that those Cracker Jack marigolds would have gotten that large? That's just absolutely insane. I had no idea. So these are obviously in the giant marigold family, but they're so pretty. They don't look like your average marigold. They're beautiful. And then if we come down here, the next trellis, hang on, kids. That's kind of hard because the sun is right there. But we have all these tomatoes right here. These are Oregon Spring, which we know are very prolific here. They do a great job. Oops. Hang on, guys. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. There you are. Sorry. My little thing came unscrewed where it holds the camera still. Sorry about that. All right, so again, back over here. We've got our Oregon Spring. There's a whole bunch in here. And I am just, as I go along, I am putting these tomatoes, weaving them in and out of my string trellis. That way it kind of holds them up. And if you see little branches, I don't know if you can see this right down here, you just snap them off. If they look healthy, just throw them in the bed. But look what else looks really, really good since I just put the worm juice on it is my holy basil. Everybody else's, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe it's a lack of nutrition, obviously. Um, they're huge, beautiful bushes, just huge. These, maybe they're not getting enough sun, but they definitely have a lot more new leaves on them just since day before yesterday when I put the worm solution on there. My marketplace pole beans are looking absolutely fabulous. These are the seedlings I grew in the house. This is one of the ones that survived. The rest of them did not due to the bug pressure. And I had to replant them, I think maybe twice. They're right down in here. So they're trying to catch up. And the market beans are trying to choke out these poor. Actually, that's what that one is too, but that one I replanted. This one's over here trying to choke out the cilantro, but that's okay. Cilantro went to seed. Once these little pods dry up, I save them and I can replant or cook with them, either or. Now look at this. I want you to see this over here. Just fertilizer. I'm telling you, everything, I think I started telling you, everything is for my worm bed that we made is absolutely free. We got the worms out of the driveway. In early spring, you're still getting lots of rain and they come to the surface. And so Gabby and I just kept going out and grabbing them and saving them. We put them in, we built our worm bed first. Then we put some dirt in there, kitchen scraps, and some shredded cardboard, or you can use paper as long as it doesn't have ink or anything on it, eggshells, coffee grounds, all those things. And then I put some dry paper over the top and I keep it on the front porch. I left it out in the sun the other day, but especially in the wintertime, I keep it up on the porch because I don't want them to freeze because that little bucket is not insulated. But look at my peppers. They were looking kind of funky yellow. They are no longer yellow. Look at the size of my Marconis. I got two going right there. This is a little red bell pepper. I mean, they're just going crazy now. It's crazy. Oh, hi, Lilo. Hi, Mama Kitty. Come here. Look at my sweet girl. Hi, Mama. Hello, Mommy. Oh, she's purr. No, you can't hear her now. She stopped. All right, down you go. She likes to get grasshoppers and all kinds of stuff. But as I was saying, look at them all. Look at all the new blooms. The tomatoes are looking great. Everything looks fantastic. So that was the ticket. So I'm going to suggest, because my soil is not really good yet, since we had to dig up my whole garden when I built these beds, and then we had to fill them. So all the no-till beds that I had made, some of the dirt got put into the new beds, but a lot of it did not. So we're working on it. But this worm juice in the meantime is really, really helping. And whenever you grow something, it sucks the nutrients out of the soil. And the worm juice puts it right back in there. And what's so great about the worm juice, we're going to walk over here, excuse me, is it's not only free, it gets rid of your chicken or your scraps, and is free, but it fertilizes your plants. So even these were kind of sickly looking, excuse me, um, because of the bugs. Basil, look at them. They're super green. I'm not touching my nettle. There is something on my nettle. I thought it was some kind of bug poop, but it's not. It's just dirt. This marigold was looking kind of sickly. It's green. Everything is green and nice. And since I pulled this parsley out over here, I think you can see right here, I pulled that huge parsley out because I've got so much behind me. It's insane to save for seeds. They're getting more sun too. And look at all, everything is just, I don't know why. I'm always surprised, like a day or two after I use the worm juice. Everything is it's grown so much and it's so green and lush. It's just crazy. So everything, I think in this bed, this is the far east bed at the top of the garden. Sorry, hang on there. I gave my oregano, which is going to seed, which is fine. And you can save these to replant. My calendula was looking kind of crappy, excuse the language, and it's looking great too. They're all looking really, really well. And I did my strawberries and the stuff down in that bed down over there. So yeah, worm juice, who knew? So I just went down to the end of this bed. This is the bed at the very top, and now all the little strawberries I trimmed back are starting to bloom because I fertilized them too. My zinnia down there shot off another bloom. My peppers are looking, those ones down there were looking not so great. Now they're looking fabulous. So yeah, the proof is in the pudding. I did want to show you this zucchini plant right here. This thing has shot up, I would say 6 inches since day before yesterday, before I put the worm juice on there. I mean, this stuff is just insane. This will almost be ready to start trimming up from the bottom. So I can grow that up into a tree, and it will give everything else some more light and room in there because you know zucchini plants go crazy. But I'm going to be lazy and give you a shot. Hang on. Right over, where can I show you? Right here. These are those little pumpkin jalapenos, and they were looking kind of crummy, and they look really well. And behind them, it's probably too hard to see. I don't think I can zoom. Oh, I can. Back here, right here, are my oh, sorry. Why does it keep doing that? Right here, my Tabascos, and they were not looking good at all, and now they're nice and green. They have a lot of new growth on them. I'm like, what? So everything's looking perfect. The tromboncino is starting to grow a little bit. What else? It just looks fabulous. I'm excited. So worm juice, folks, if you haven't done it so far, and it doesn't have to be a big situation. Summertime especially, and that's when you need it. At least this time of year, I guess you should say. It dries out very quickly, and so you have to keep adding water to it. Well, when you add water to it, what comes out? Worm juice. It's liquid gold. Okay, I'm going to do some harvesting. Excuse me, but I'm going to sign off. I hope the sun is shining where you are. I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. And thank you so much, as always, for watching, subscribing, and sharing. And God bless you all. I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.